Hey guys, it's Abby from Autumn of Pelennor, and today I'm going to be giving you my Booktubeathon wrap-up. So as you guys may have noticed, I did daily vlogs for the Booktubeathon. This is the first ever time I participated. It was so much fun, and at the end of them I give a little bit of a wrap-up, but this is going to be my overall wrap-up video, so anyone who didn't want to watch the individual daily vlogs can kind of still know what went on. So I'll start out with the books that I read and how they fit into the different challenges. The first book was I Used to Know That Geography by Will Williams. This was part of the challenge for the coin toss book. I tossed up to decide between this and a revision course in geography by Thomas Pickles. And this also has green on the cover, and it counts as something that I want to do. I have a degree in geography and I'm going to be going on to do a master's in a more specified area of the subject, so I felt like this counted. I also used this book as the wear a hat the whole time whilst reading challenge. I'll put a clip in here. Actually, this counted for 4 different challenges, so this was green on the cover, coin toss, something I want to do, and wearing a hat the whole time whilst reading. I ended up choosing to wear my mortarboard that I got for my graduation from my undergraduate degree because I thought it was funny and stupid. This one was 192 pages. I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5 stars. I think it's a really good book to kind of get you back into geography, or maybe to teach you a little about it if you didn't pick it for one of your subjects in school. And yeah, it's a really good little book, and as far as I can tell from what I know, the information all seems pretty accurate. So for the adaptation challenge, I read Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. This came up as 384 pages for this specific copy, and I watched the 1985 adaptation with Megan Fellows. I really like the adaptation, it's really sweet, and I'm looking forward to reading the rest of these and then watching the sequel adaptation. I also want to start watching Anne with an E, the Netflix series. I really want to see what that's like. I'm slightly invested in the world of the Green Gables right now. But yes, I didn't enjoy the beginning part of this. I liked the very beginning, but the middle was kind of boring. But once she hit about 13, for me personally, it picked up and I was a lot more interested, and I ended up absolutely falling in love with her. So as I said, this was the movie adaptation challenge ticked off, but it also counts for green on the cover. I also gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I could have given it 5. I really do love this whole world and I'm so invested in it now, especially after watching the shows, but because the middle bit was so boring to me, I can't justify adding on the extra star at the end, so 4 out of 5 stars. Next up was The Last 7 Months of Anne Frank by Villy Lundver. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This was just one of the books to meet 7 books challenge. It was absolutely devastating, thought-provoking. It's a non-fiction book that follows the lives of 7 women who were in the concentration camps who interacted with Anne Frank in her last 6 women, sorry, in her last 7 months. And I definitely recommend. There's not too much to say about this. This comes in at 224 pages. Then I went to a signing for Christina Henry, and I had one of her books on my TBR, so I picked it next. Again, this doesn't meet a challenge other than read 7 books, and this is Alice by Christina Henry, and I've given this 5 out of 5 stars. I was going to give it 4 because of one of the plot points that I wasn't too keen on, but I couldn't get it out of my head. Like, I really couldn't get it out of my head, so I've given it 5 stars and I'm looking forward to reading Red Queen. And Alice is 291 pages long. Next up was Weird Sisters by Terry Pratchett. This was green on the cover. As you can see, I kind of mixed and matched the challenges up, but I did manage to get them all. This book is number 6 in the Discworld series and I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I'd give it 4.5 if I could. It wasn't quite 5 stars, but this is my favourite Discworld novel so far. I love all the witches. And this was 252 pages. Then I hit a slump quite badly, and I was kind of freaking out that I wasn't going to be able to make to the end of the challenges, so I picked up this for a reread. This is, instead of Unrivaled, it's my beautiful cover. my beautiful cover, my beautiful spine, and I genuinely do love the gold foiling, the white plain background and the lone silhouette fading into the white background. So I was just trying to go off of my TBR shelf and not my red shelf when I made my TBR pile. This is a kind of like diary entries from a Second World War Spitfire pilot, but it's fictional, and it's aimed at children. It's only 128 pages long, so similar length to the geography one actually. I really enjoyed it. There's some really heart-wrenching moments in here. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I definitely recommend to give this to children. And then I was still in freaking out mode, so I read Bright Shiny Skylar, which is 48 pages. It's a kid's book, and it was just so I had something to count for book number 7. I'm probably going to give this 3 stars. It's inoffensive, it has a good message for children. I got it with my American Girl doll when I was like 7, so well over a decade ago. It's fine, I was just really panicking because I was in a really deep slump. But luckily those two managed to get me out of the slump. I didn't have the pressure of having to read anymore because I'd technically finished all of the challenges. So then I was able to start on another book from my TBR, which is Runaway by Meg Cabot. This is the 3rd book in the Airhead series and comes in at 352 pages long. I really enjoyed this. I've given every single book in this series 4 stars. It doesn't quite hit the 5-star mark for me, but I do really enjoy all of them, as you can see. I definitely recommend this. Is a bit of a different one, and this covers green on the cover. And I guess, catching my hair, technically I do quite like the spine. So in terms for books that I finished, that's it. There's 8 there and I read 1,871 pages. However, I did also then start on Unrivaled by Alison Noel. I started on this before midnight and I'm only counting up to where I read until midnight, which was page 109. This book's like 400 odd pages long. And I read up to page 109 before midnight. So my actual total page count read for the whole readathon was 1,980. And it's a pity I didn't get further through this at the time, and I am liking it now that I'm into it. But that's just kind of how it worked out this time. I just got really deep into a reading slump day 3, 4, and I needed to go for some easier books to get me back out of that. I also really enjoyed this little tick list that I made. For each day I put down the video challenge and the Instagram challenge and the reading challenge I wanted to do. And I had a little list ticking off them all when I got them done. So this was really helpful, and I'm thinking of using this little thing. Obviously it came in like a little set. I'm thinking of using this for my reading life in general from now on. So as you can see, I'll put a little graphic thing here. I completed all 7 challenges and I'm pretty proud of myself for that. I did have to make some changes and kind of change up my TBR a little bit, but it was really, really fun and I really enjoyed the sprints. And then moving on from them very quickly, another graphic up, I also completed all of the video and the Instagram challenges. So if you want to check them out, they'll be within the daily vlogs and also on my Instagram page, which is at Autumn of Pelennor. So yes, that was my first ever Booktubeathon, and like I said, I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun. It was a little bit stressful, and I think the slump came in because I also did the 7 in 7 readathon, so I was constantly reading for 14 days, and around day 12, day 13, I just couldn't do it anymore. That's quite a lot of reading and quite a lot of stress. Why is it so hot in Britain? It was mildly stressful, but I put it on myself and I enjoyed the stress, so it's fine. So thank you so much for watching all of my reading vlogs if you did, and I'll keep putting up content, not every single day, because that was stressful, but I will keep putting up content in the future, so stick around to see some of that if you'd like. Fingers crossed I can do this again next year. I think it's close to clashing with the end of my masters, so it really does depend on those final dates, but I'm really looking forward to that. My phone keeps going off. And thank you guys so much for watching, whether you've just watched this wrap up or whether you've watched the past 7 days or whether you watch my other videos. So thank you for coming with me on my first ever Booktubeathon. I had a lot of fun, and I know Ariel won't be watching this, but thank you. You put in so much work to this readathon. Bye guys.